all, this is Vidisha and welcome to my channel The Woolly Hugs. Today in this tutorial we are going to make this very cute and cool Yashvika Batwings Sweater. So this tutorial I am showing the size 3 to 4 years, but for other sizes I have provided the link in the description box below. And if you enjoyed the video, don't forget to subscribe and hit that bell icon so that you're notified of my future tutorials, and also give me a thumbs up. And so let's get started. So for this project I'm using this Ganga Alisha yarn in green color, and this is a medium weight yarn. So this comes in hands, and I have created a ball out of it. And we'll be using 2 crochet hook sizes. This is 6 mm. This we'll use for the cuff and ribbing, and a 7 mm hook size which we'll use for the whole pattern for the body. We'll need a scissor, darning needle, stitch markers and inch tape. So for the gauge of this pattern in lemon peel stitch is 9 stitches and 10 rows is 4 inches. So if you don't know how to create lemon peel stitch, I will give a link in the description box below where you can see how we create lemon peel stitch. It's a very simple stitch, and you should only keep in mind that it should have even number of stitches. So let's get started. So I have taken 6 mm hook and I'll create a slip knot. And I'll start with the ribbing. So I'll chain 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and in the second chain from the hook, 1, 2, this is second chain, I'll make a single crochet, and all the stitches across I'll make 1 single crochet. So we'll have 6 single crochets. I'll chain 1, turn my work, and now we will be working in the back loops only. So this is the V, and in the back loop only we have to work our single crochets. So I'll make 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Again I'll chain 1, turn my work, and in the back loops only I'll make 6 single crochets. So I am making for this size 3 to 4 years. So I will be working for total 14 rows. So you'll have to see in the written pattern how many rows you need to do for your size. So once I'm done with the 14 rows, I will show you how we are going to start our stitch pattern, which is a lemon peel stitch, and it's a very simple stitch. Only you need to have even number of stitches to work that pattern. So let's complete our ribbing part, and then I'll show you. So here I have completed my cuff, and I worked 16 rows. Sorry, by mistake I said 14 rows. You'll have to make 16 rows for the cuff for the size 3 to 4 years, and it measures around 5.5. And now we will start with our sleeves section. So we'll change our hook size to 7 mm, and we'll start our stitch pattern, which is lemon peel stitch. Lemon peel stitch works on even number of stitches, and it always starts with a single crochet and ends with a double crochet. So for row 1 we will simply chain 1, and make a single crochet on top of our first stitch, a double crochet in the next, single crochet in the next stitch, double crochet in the next. So we will repeat this across, and we have worked 16 rows, so we should have 16 stitches in the end. So carry on doing this, and once we reach in the end, I'll show you how we are going to go to our next row. So I'm here in the end, and I'll make a double crochet in the last stitch, and let me count my stitches. 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11 12 13 14 15 16. So now we will chain 1 and turn our work, and from now on we will be increasing on each row to get the batwing shape. And we will be increasing on the second stitch and on the second last stitch on both the ends. So we'll chain 1, and in lemon peel stitch we always work a single crochet on top of a double crochet and a double crochet on top of single crochet. So we ended up with a double crochet, so we'll start with a single crochet. So we chain 1 and we make a single crochet in the very first stitch. In the second stitch we will increase our stitch, so we'll make a double crochet and a single crochet in the same stitch. Now we'll work a double crochet in the next, a single crochet in the next. So we'll continue our pattern, single crochet and double crochet, till we reach to the second last stitch, and we'll increase by 1 stitch in the second last stitch. So once I reach there, I'll show you how we are going to increase. So I'm my second last this is my second last stitch. Yeah, let me count my stitches once. So 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11 12 13 14 15. So this is my second last stitch, and I just made a single crochet in the last stitch. So I'll make a double crochet and a single crochet in the second last stitch and a double crochet in the last stitch. We will always end up with a double crochet in the last stitch. We'll chain 1 and turn. So now our stitch count is 18 stitches. We started with 16, we increased 2 stitches on both ends, and we have 18 stitches. Row 3 again, we have chained 1, we'll make a single crochet in the first stitch, and again we'll increase by 1 stitch in the second stitch. So 1 double crochet and a single crochet in the second stitch, double crochet in the next, single crochet in the next, and the same manner we'll go across till we reach to our second last stitch, and then there again we will make an increase by 1 stitch. So here I have reached to my second last stitch, so I'll make a double crochet and a single crochet in the same stitch and a double crochet in the last stitch. So this is how our batwing is going to take shape. So we'll be increasing our stitches on every row on both ends, and we'll work in the similar manner till we reach row 27. And once we reach there, I'll show you how we are going to start our shoulder. So now I have covered the length for my size 3 to 4 years, and my length for the size is total 14 inches including the ribbing. So I'm right now 12 inches. So I'll not be chaining anymore to increase my size here, and ribbing we'll be doing after we complete our sweater. For other sizes, wherever it is mentioned that you need to chain, I'll show you how you're going to do that. For other sizes where you need to increase the length, you will just snip off your yarn, fasten off, take the new ball of yarn, and for instance your size specifies you to chain 8, so we'll chain 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and you will attach the chain to the first stitch of your panel, and you'll simply start with your lemon peel pattern. So you'll make a single crochet on the very first, double on the next, single on the next, double on the next, and you'll continue in the same fashion. And once we reach to this end, I'll show you how we are going to chain more on this side as well to reach the desired length that we want for our sweater.
So we chained 8 chains on the other end, and we worked across with our pattern. And now again on this side I'm left with 1 stitch. I'll make a double crochet in that last stitch and chain similar number of chains. So we chained 8, so I'll chain 8 on this side as well. 1, 2, 3, okay, 6, 7 and 8, and we'll chain 1 more extra to turn our work. So this is how we will increase the length for your size in case you're not satisfied with the length. And now in this second chain we'll start working the pattern. So I'll make a single crochet in the second chain from the hook, a double in the next, single, double, single, a double, single, and a double. So here we have worked our 8 chains and we have reached the panel, and we'll make a single crochet on the first one and a double crochet on the next, and we'll continue across in the same fashion. And once we reach to the other side where we have chained, we'll work the pattern as it is, and in the last stitch we'll make our double crochet and chain 1 and turn and continue making our shoulder. So I just showed this an example for the sizes where you need to increase. So we have worked on the other end chains. We started on this side, we chained and we worked across, we chained again and we turned, started the pattern and worked back. And now on this side as well we'll similarly work on the chains. So I'll make a single crochet on the very first. We have 8 chains here as well. a double crochet in the next, single, a double, single, double, single, and double crochet in the last stitch. And now we'll simply for the shoulder. You need to increase as specified in the pattern, but I will not be increasing for the size 3 to 4 years. This was just to show how we are going to do it. So in the size 3 to 4 years, I'll simply start my pattern without increasing on any side, and I'll work for the shoulder. And from now on, we will not be increasing our stitches. We'll simply work the body, the front panel, and we are working on the shoulder right now. I worked my shoulders now, and now we are getting this flat edge. And now I'll show you how we are going to start our neckline. So whatever stitches you have total according to your size, you'll put the stitch marker in the middle stitch. For example, if I have 68 stitches, I'll put the stitch marker on the 34th stitch. And now we will start working towards the neck. So just simply follow the pattern. So I'll make a single crochet on the first and double crochet in the next, single crochet, double crochet, single. So what we need to do is we will work till we are 3 stitches from the stitch marker. So we will be leaving these 3 stitches for our neck opening, and we'll turn from there. So once I am there, I will show you how we are going to do that, and that will create our neck opening. The marker, I'm leaving these 3 stitches for the neck opening. So from here I'll turn back. So I'll simply chain 1 and turn my work and make a single crochet on the first, a double crochet in the next, a single in the next, a double in the next, and I'll simply work the pattern till the end and continue. Chain 1 and come back, and again turn and come back. So now we are only going to work on the front panel, and these 3 stitches will give us our neck opening. So I'll be working 8 rows for my size 3 to 4 years. You'll have to see in the pattern how many rows you need to do for your. So I have done my front panel and I've covered the neckline, and here is where we are going to start working on our back panel. So you will simply fasten off your work here. We are going to just snip off the yarn attached. And now we will start working on the back panel. So we'll attach our yarn next to the stitch marker placed here. So we'll be leaving total 4 stitches for the neckline. So we left 3 before the stitch marker for the front panel, and we'll leave the stitch where the stitch marker was, and we'll attach yarn on the next stitch. Tie a knot, chain 1 and just start working with the pattern, making a single crochet on the very first stitch, a double crochet in the next, single in the next, double in the next. So just follow across the pattern till you reach your edge, and on that end you'll chain 1 and turn and work till here. So this will give us the opening for our neck. We have started the back panel neck back panel neck area.
I have now worked my back panel, and here is where we are going to join both our panels. So we left 4 stitches when we started our neckline on this side, so we'll be chaining 4 on this side before we join to the front panel. So this is my back panel, and I will just start by chaining 4. And I'll simply join by making a single crochet on the first stitch here, single, and then double and a single, and follow in the same fashion. So now we have joined the neck. We will repeat what we did on the left side. You will be working as many rows as you did for your left shoulder. You will be working similar number of rows on this side for the right shoulder, and once I'm done with the shoulder, I will show you how we are going to proceed the sleeves. So you'll start, just simply work to the edge and chain 1, come back and follow across the pattern and keep working on your shoulders. I have now worked my shoulder, and now we will start with our sleeves on the other side, but we will be decreasing on every row on this side. But before that, I want to mention that if you have increased the stitches on the back panel and the front panel to increase the length, then here you need to slip stitch the number of stitches you increase, so that you stop working on the length and start your sleeves. So please slip stitch the number of stitches specified on the pattern for the size that you are working on, and then we'll start decreasing. So this was my last row, and I'll simply chain 1, and the way we increased on the second stitch, we will be decreasing on the second and third stitch. So I chain 1 and I'll make a single crochet on the first stitch, and in these 2 stitches we'll make our decrease. So I'll make a double crochet, pull up a loop, pull through 2 and hold it there, and in this I'll make a single, but by pulling on all the 3 loops. So I've decreased here by 1 stitch. Now I'll make a double crochet in the next stitch, single crochet in the next, and I'll continue with the pattern till I'm left with last 3 stitches. And so I reached on the other end and I'm left with 3 stitches, and I made a single stitch here. So I'll make a double, I'll not complete it, and in the stitch I'll pull up a loop and I'll pull through all 3 loops, and I have increased here by decreased here by 1 stitch, and in the last stitch we'll make a double crochet, chain 1, turn our work. So we have decreased on the last row by 2 stitches. Again we'll decrease, so we'll make a single crochet on the first, double, pull through 2, hold it there, make a single in the next, just pull through a loop and then pull through all the 3 loops. So we decreased on this side as well. Then make a double crochet on top of single crochet, double crochet, and again on the end, last 3 stitches on this side we'll decrease these 2. So carry on for the number of rows you worked for the sleeves on the other side, and I'll meet you once we are done with the sleeve length, and we'll start the cuff. So I'm done with the decreases on my sleeves, and I worked total 26 rows, but for the size 3 to 5 I worked 27 rows on the other side, and I'll be working 1 row more without any decreases. So I'll make a single crochet on the very first, a double crochet in the next, a single on the next. So I'll be making 1 row without any decreases, and then we will start working on our cuff. Double crochet on the stitch, I will now change my hook size, because now we'll be working on the cuff. So I will be working now with the 6 mm hook. So we'll turn our work and we'll start the ribbing. So we chained 7 on the other side for the cuff, so I'll chain 7, and in the second chain from the hook make a single crochet, so I made 6 single crochets, and then now in this next stitch I'll make a slip stitch, and in this next again I'll make another slip stitch. I'll turn my work chain 1, turn your work, make single crochets on the back loops, 1, six, slip stitch in the next stitch on the edge, slip stitch again on the next, turn your work and make single crochets on the back loop. So this is how we are going to create the cuff, and I had 14 stitches left, so I'll be working for 14 rows, and then fasten off your work. I am now done with my cuff, and I also done my ribbing, and I will show you how we are going to create the ribbing on the other side, on the front panel. And for the ribbing, I worked 31 rows on my front and back panel, and I'll be joining my yarn and making single crochet, one row of single crochets, and I'll evenly distribute my single crochets, 31 single crochets. So I'll just show you. So I'll join my yarn in the corner, and I'll chain one and make single crochet evenly . So, and once I complete my 31 rows, I'll start my ribbing. So I've done my 31 single crochets, and now I will turn my work and I wanted my ribbing to be longer, so I will chain 9 . And in the second chain from the hook, I'll make my single crochet, and I'll make single crochets across till the end. 3, 4, 5. So now I have 8 single crochets, and now I'll make a slip stitch on the first stitch and also a slip stitch in the next stitch. I'll turn my work, and now I'll be making single crochet in the back loops only. It's 8 single crochets. I'll chain one and turn and make single crochets in the back loop. So this is how you're going to create your ribbing, and you'll work as many rows as you made single crochets across. So once we are done with the ribbing on both front and back panel, we will be working on the edging at our neck opening, and then we will start joining our front and back panel and the sleeves opening. So continue making your ribbing, and I'll meet you once I'm done with this. I have now completed the ribbing on both the panels, and now we'll work on the edge of our neck. So I will attach my yarn on one corner So I'll just be making my single crochets evenly, and once I'm done I'll show you how one row of single crochets is looking. So I worked one row of single crochets, and this is where I'd started. So I'm just stopping here. If you want, you can make more rows to the neckline. And now I'll just fasten off, and then so now we are going to join the sides. So I've already joined one side. I'll show you how we are going to join on the other side. So I have, with the wrong side facing you, line up your front and back panel, and we are starting from the ribbing. So I'll be attaching my yarn on the cornermost stitch of both the front and back panel. And I'm tying a knot. And now I'll be taking both stitches from both the panels, and I'll just chain one and make single crochets joining both the stitches. So here you can see this is my front and this is the back. I pulled up a loop and I'll make a single crochet. So this is how you're going to join. By matching the stitches on both the panels, going through both the loops, and here we are done with the ribbing. And now similarly I'll work across my sleeves till I'm done, till this edge of my cuff.